and welcome to today's mech review. Today we're going to be looking at something brand new out of Terra. I've had the chance to work on a few of these, actually for the clans, since they're basically a brand new machine for Clan Smoke Jaguar. The OZ-06 Leo, it was originally named that for the constellation that you can see from Earth, but the Fidelis forces and later on the Smoke Jaguars renamed it Leo in honor of Leo Showers, the one of the most influential Khan of Clan Smoke Jaguar, and the man who basically led the invasion of the Inner Sphere in the 3050s. He died a weird death. Let's not get too much into that. But it was a good honor they decided to bring on him by basically repurposing this design into his name. The design was originally built by Operation Zeta, which is a Special Forces division of the Republic of the Sphere, which was operating a factory in Greenland. Greenland is a very cold region of Terra, up in the far north, a little bit out of everybody's way, and a great place to hide something under, piles of ice, which is basically what they did with this particular factory, which is now producing a few different models, all following the same basic design aesthetics and design philosophy as this OZ-06 Leo. It's not an OmniMech. That's the first thing I need to tell everyone. It's not an OmniMech, but it basically behaves like an OmniMech. There's things that are hard mounted on it, but even the stuff that's hard mounted, I have played around with, and you can basically take them off in a matter of a couple hours. For the stuff that's hard mounted, well, except the jump jets. The jump jets are built into the structure, but the shoulder mounted lasers can be disassembled. Every single weapon on the design is hand mounted. It's not a pod like you would see on a normal battle mech. It's an actual hand-held weapon. We've seen those on things like the Wolverine, the Griffin, the Battle Master, but never to this particular extent where the weapons can be swapped, well, literally by picking it up off the ground. The hard part is carrying the ammo load, but even there, the way the ammo loads are made on this, they're basically clips like you would have in a regular handheld weapon. It's a very odd design for a battle mech, but it works surprisingly well. That extra ammo is generally kept in a case bin to protect it from explosion. It works fairly well, like I said. 50 tons, not the heaviest mech around. It's smack in the middle, obviously. And if you look at the cost here, the dry cost and total cost here, this would be with the Rotary AC5 standard gun on it. If you want to buy the kit with all the weapons, you would probably be paying around 8 million C-bills, Fox credits, whatever currency you're using at the moment, and you'd have the kit with all the different options that you can mount on your Leo, which is actually quite significant once we start digging into it. Not the fastest, at 86 kilometers per hour, it can jump 150 meters. One of the advantages, it uses a Magna 250 engine. This is the same engine that was in the Crab originally and in quite a few different aerospace fighter. It's a basic fusion engine, easy to build, easy to maintain, nothing out of the ordinary on there. Same with the targeting and tracking system. It's a basic system from a Wolverine mounted in the head. They've basically went with what we've done originally with our Flying Badgers. The only part that's a little bit fancy is the Special Forces model for Clan Smoke Jaguar. All use ferrolamellar armor. The ones that I played with use ferrofibrous armor instead, and those are what I think is going to be an export model or something that Clan Smoke Jaguar and Clan Wolf are going to be able to spread around to various other units. It's very decent overall. It's not a fantastic super frontline mega machine like you expect most clan mechs to be, but it's cheap, it's efficient, it's easy to repair, easy to reload. It's not a thing that the clans would normally build, basically, which is what makes it very surprising. So what do we have on there normally? Well, you've got 12 tons of ferrolamellar armor, and that case tube in to protect the ammo when ammo is required. And the hard-mounted weapons on the shoulder are a pair of ER medium lasers, giving you a decent medium range punch there. Your main gun is where the fancy bit comes in. It's about 12 tons of equipment in a gun mount and the ammo, depending on how it's built. I've got specs here. This is a basic Rotary AC5 Leo. With ferrolamellar armor, it makes it extremely tough to kill and to punch the armor through, which is really nice. You've got those shoulder-mounted ER medium lasers, a set of 5 jump jets in the torsos in the center torso, easy to not swap out, but to fix when damage comes to them as well. The legs are simple assemblies. The other arm is a simple assembly, but we'll see later that we can have fun with it as well. And this one here, a Rotary AC5 main gun. It's a clan graded one in this case with 2 tons of ammo. You're going to blow through that really quickly. But like I said, those are basically big magazines. So if the Leos are next to a truck, they could technically reload by picking up a bin off a truck. I'd have to see it happen for me to believe it. Not a bad machine. It's not going to run you hot either. No weapon on there is really, really high temperature, at least on this particular setup. Because there's other setups, like I said, with different guns. Dual ER large laser is another one. It's a basically gun mount with 2 ER large laser mounted on it and a set of heat sinks mounted underneath to soak up some of that heat. This one will run a bit hot if it jumps and shoots everything, but it's still not that terrible. With 14 double heat sinks, you can shoot those 2 ER large lasers and run around without too much problems. Once again, this is the version with ferrolamellar. An LB-10X version, decent against aircrafts or to be able to give you a little bit of punch. Not sure if this one is going to be super popular. This one, I have an image here. It looks like some kind of weird field gun on the side here. This one here doesn't have the shoulder mounts, which generally means it carries 2 extra tons of ammo for the gun. But in this case, actually, like I said, all sorts of variants and upgrades on it. Rather than go with extra ammo, they mounted a shield on the shoulder. That's also a possibility. Not an OmniMech, but something that can behave like an OmniMech is what my contacts use to say about it. Fun little thing here. 2 tons of LB-10X ammo is not a whole lot. Once again, you do what you need to with it. There's a version with a AG-20. Very, very good against anti-air. Or if you need a long-range punch or just some kind of breaching thing. This one looks like a massive bazooka. Kind of fun to look at, but with only 12 shots, once again, the ammo's a little bit limited. There's a brawler variant with an hatchet on the other arm, and it mounts a heavy large laser in some kind of weird pistol mount. This one here will not run hot with that kind of equipment. I'm not sure if there's a way to maybe stick some triple strength myomer on there. That would probably be difficult. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't played with that particular model, like I said, a lot. It's a thing that just came out, and I've only ever played with, well, some of the more basic models. The last one from the standard weapon mounts, let's say, is the LRM-15 mount. It's a pair of LRM-15, one of those big box LRM launcher on the shoulder. This one, I mean, you've got 3 tons of ammo for the LRM on there. LRM-15s are quite efficient. They're Artemis 4 guided. I don't know if there's an option to put an Artemis 5 guidance on there. Maybe you'd have to lower it to an LRM-10. I don't know. Maybe there's more gun mounts to come in the future. The one I played with personally was this ferrofibrous model. It might look like you've got 1 point of extra armor on it because ferrofibrous is more coverage per ton than your ferrolamellar, but don't be fooled. You've got more armor, but you don't soak up as much damage as ferrolamellar, and you're going to be able to be penetrated more easily. The ferro one I've played with had a sword and a light active probe mounted in the head. Pretty simple design, same kind of thing as the others. Except for the ferrofibrous armor, the extra sword and light active probe. I don't think it's a terrible idea or a terrible setup. Side note, there's another one that they've made out of ferrofibrous, but this one has a partial wing, and it's a modular partial wing that you can, well, take in and out. Apparently, I've never played with it. I've never touched that thing in terms of mechanics. I've heard it exists. I'm not sure if that partial wing is truly modular. If it is, it's rather a fantastic little piece of engineering, and I fear that it will come to Jade Falcon mechs in the near future, but it makes it a little bit of a better jumper, better cavalry mech. Once again, you can replace the gun here. This is the Rotary AC5 version, but you could have any of the options we discussed earlier. As we said, there's a version with small shields. If you take out the shoulder guns, you can mount a small shield, or if it's the ferrofibrous version, like this one here, you still have the shoulder lasers, you've got that small shield, and the light active probe is actually a regular active probe compared to the one with the sword. This one probably is a little bit more complex to modify or play with, but once again, the big chunk here is that machine gun, bazooka, field gun, pistol that you've mounted on the other arm. There's a ferrolamellar one here with a small shield. This one doesn't have the shoulder lasers. It has that heavy hyper assault gauss and a small shield. Is it super great? Maybe, maybe not. Those are things that we're going to be seeing quite a few of in a very near future, I am sure, if Clan Smoke Jaguar just keeps pushing them out, which is what they've actually told us they're going to do. There's other Operation Zeta models that are incoming. I've seen one other one called the Tragos, which is more of a fire support unit at 70 ton. I'll talk about it probably later. There's a lighter one called the Ares, which is a cavalry mech. And there's supposed to be building an assault version of the same basic kind of design, things you can mount in the hand and quickly modify. Is this the future of warfare? Well, it's just like an OmniMech. In the long run, we'll see how it affects things, and if it keeps the price down, it might have a better market penetration than OmniMech. It does look really cool. It does have some fun functionalities, and hopefully you guys, if you meet them on the right side of the battlefield, which is yours, or you find a way to buy a couple and bring them over here for me to look at and fix. So I hope you guys have a very nice rest of your day. I thank you for listening for so long, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.